We're just excited about all the program success.
And we're ready to get started. Thanks, Zach. Go Cards.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler. It's time for another edition of the Zac Bruney Show. Currently joined by Wheeling University head football coach Zac Bruney. And Zach, you guys wrapped up your road schedule with a big win at Concord. Talk about the game and kind of what you saw from your team.
Well, we played really well. Got off to a really good start. Defense did a great job of, winning the field position battle early. We got a couple scores. Had a great, 2-point conversion call that we had, kind of worked on all year. Got an extra 2 points from the PAT unit. Got some momentum. They battled back like I thought they would at home. They have a good coaching staff. They have, good offensive schemes. Their players play hard. So they got some momentum back at the second, at the end of the second quarter. We went into the halftime speaking about us, controlling the game for the most part, but the game was close again. But we did a really nice job of coming out, and I felt like we asserted ourselves and really dominated the third quarter, and, that kind of put the game out of the reach.
And obviously a big week for Landon Lutz because the MEC Offensive Player of the Week award sets the program record with 6 touchdowns in the game. Talk about his performance and kind of how he's matured through the year.
Very efficient. He was very efficient. For what we were doing, we were really running the ball effectively. Our offensive line was controlling the line of scrimmage, getting a lot of push, and allowing us to stay ahead of the chains really effectively. And then Landon mixing in some timely throws. We had some really good plays on the outside by our guys. We took advantage of them trying to load the box, play a lot of man-to-man, and we won our one-on-one scenarios, and Landon was highly accurate, and he was highly efficient, and our guys on the outside made the plays, and 20-26 and over 250 yards at 6 touchdowns is a really efficient day, and we rushed the ball really effectively too for over 270 yards. So it was a really good day offensively all around.
And being able to have that balanced offensive attack, as you mentioned, the rushing game as well, Stephen Mitchell with a big game on that side. How did that help you guys kind of open up the field for Lutz?
Well, teams have to kind of pick and choose what they're trying to do. Are they going to hang back and play more zone coverage to take away the receivers on the outside? Chris and Trey and Dason and Colin and Rico, and those guys are really dynamic players, on the outside. But we are rushing the ball effectively. I thought the tight ends had their best week of blocking. Steve Felton, Alex, and Landon in the tight end room really had their best week blocking. So we blocked them effectively, and that opened up some things on the outside. Our defense did a tremendous job of getting off the field on third down. Concord did not convert a third down in the game. That gave us, more possessions, and we controlled the time of possession that way. And it was a really solid effort all around. So, I give our guys a lot of credit.
And then in the fourth quarter, you got a chance to get some of your guys who normally don't play in. Adel and Egan got a couple of reps at quarterback, some of those other guys. Talk about how important that is to get those guys in that late game situation.
Well, they work really hard, and they got to prepare like starters every week. If you're a backup, you're really just one play away from, being a full-time player. A lot of those guys that got action in the fourth quarter are, important players for us on special teams. So their involvement in the game is usually there. It was good to get more guys in the game from an offense and defensive standpoint in that fourth quarter. I would like to see us execute a little better, both offensively and defensively. But those guys work very hard in practice. They put the time in the film room. And like I tell them every week, they're one play away from, really being in there and being a starter. So the backups and the guys that are twos and guys that are playing a role for us situationally and playing special teams have to prepare like starters every week. And as long as they do that, then, they'll be ready to play at any point in time.
Currently joined by Wheeling University head football coach Zac Bruney. And Zach, obviously a big matchup this week. West Liberty coming here, a night game at Bishop Schmidt Field. Talk about the week and kind of how you guys are preparing for this matchup.
Well, it's a big week because it's the rivalry game, and it's the same but different. Our preparation this week is like it would be for any other game week to this point, but we are into week 12 of the season, game 11. There's, I guess, a little more edge and intensity to it based on who we're playing, but really it comes down to execution, you know what I mean, and being able to execute your game plan on offense and defense and in special teams, and that comes down to your preparation. The teams that prepare the best, even in the rivalry games and the big games, quote unquote, night game, home game, senior day, all those things are great, but it's really just about your preparation. And then when the ball's kicked, it's your execution.
And you mentioned senior day, obviously honoring your seniors before the ceremony. A couple of guys, the 5th years and the 4th years, going to be walking. Talk about this senior class and kind of what they've brought to the program.
Well, they've been very, very important. The 5th year guys came in at that time when everything in college football and college athletics and college universities in general and education in the world itself was in the middle of the pandemic. And they didn't, a lot of them didn't get to finish their high school years like they wanted to with, a real graduation. And, some of them had their sports seasons canceled, whether it was the spring or the winter or the end of their football seasons. So they went through a tough time. The 5th year guys coming into that fall of 2020. We didn't play a season that first freshman fall for those guys that are now 5th year seniors. We played in the spring, and then we came back in the fall. So they've had a unique experience. And just like anything else, I'm really proud of them. And the guys that have been here 5 years, that have graduated, that are working on master's degrees, they've come here, they've done what they've come here to do. And that is get their education, get a degree, and then help elevate our program continually in year 7 by now, but most of them, being here when they were coming in year 2 and 3 of the program. So they've seen the maturity and growth of the program, and they've had a big hand in it. So I really appreciate and love them for that.
And finally, talk about some of your goals this Week 12 game, last week of the regular season. What are some of your goals going out there as you got to try to finish the regular season strong?
Well, just like every week, we want to see improvement. We want to be able to do simple better and just keep working on the things that we harp on in our day-to-day. How we go to class, how we approach our academics and our homework and our study tables and our test taking, our film watching, our meeting time, our practice habits. It's even though you're towards the end of a season, you still want to see that constant improvement. And if you're getting that constant improvement, even though it's week 12 versus week 1, you still give yourselves a better chance to win. So as long as we're improving daily, I'm happy with that. And as long as our guys are staying with the buy-in, which they have, we're excited for what the future holds as well. But we're focused on Saturday night.
Thanks, Zach. Good luck this Saturday. Can't wait to see you out there.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler.
We're just excited about all the program success.
And we're ready to get started. Thanks, Zach. Go Cards.